Wow. Yeah.
It took a while to get there, but there it is.
It was worth waiting for.
Dennis, my friend,
yes.
good
Hello.
evening to you. Happy quarantine hour.
Oh, and 420 to boot. My God.
Yes.
What a country we live in.
Amen.
Uh-oh.
Hey, man.
Wrong country.
Oh.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen. Huh. Amen.
What, man?
What? Hey? Man. Hey? Meet man.
You're not.
Hey, man.
Look, you're not my B man. You're my A man.
My hey, man.
Yeah. That's true, man.
And if there were more than one of you, it would be called what?
There would be several seamen. Is that what you're going? That's where you're going?
That's where you would go. That's right where you would go. Seaman and seaman, all in one image for you. All in one image. Well, that's good. It's thank goodness it's not a family show. It's not a family show.
I was going to be in the Navy, but then I don't like blue, so.
Well, so we had a beautiful day today in Kalamazoo. The sun was shining. The dogwood trees next to our yard that I described, I believe, in the last episode in great detail.
Smell, yes.
Had actually a change because it snowed 3 inches. It snowed 1 inch, and then the next day it snowed 3 inches. By the time it snowed, the second day, the first snow was gone. The 3 inches it snowed on the second day, the white dogwood blossoms were each covered with snow. It was a sight to behold. I took a picture. We can post it if you want. But then I wondered what will happen to the dogwoods. Well, sure enough, it warmed up, and a lot of them, all of them, seem to have become brown. They're so resilient that the brown petals are blowing off and the white petals are remaining and coming back a bit. I am impressed with the resiliency of the dogwood tree.
Well, amen to that.
Amen.
Thank Jesus for the dogwood. Wow, that's impressive.
Well,
I thought it was going to be a word problem there at the beginning with the 1 inch and then 3 inches and then the 1 inch melted and I was keeping track in my head. But then the answer was...
So that's why it smells like semen probably, which I still don't believe. Because it starts out at 1 inch, then it goes to 3 inches, which for you is an exaggeration, I'm sure. But anyway.
Well, the brown petals fall. Nice.
I took an hour and a half walk over the river and through the woods. To granddaughter's house I went.
Yes.
And had 15 minutes, disassociated 12 feet away, and then walked 45 minutes back. Over the river and through the woods. Back to my house I went, and just got my beer, sat down. Hello, Erik. And here we are.
Wow.
So it was an active hour and a half. Indeed. Nice day.
90 minutes.
Nice day.
90 minutes.
Put out the lawn furniture.
Put out the lawn furniture.
Prepping. Oh, yeah.
Getting ready for spraying to spraying.
Oh, yeah. Spraying is spraying. Amen. Hey, man.
Wow. Yeah, not much happening here. My kids started back to school with, air quotes, as my son learned how to do today, because
virtual. The
previous week was Easter holiday, so today they had some schoolwork provided. But my son is about to turn 7 this week.
Yes.
He's in first grade. He's in first grade, and his teacher called us because we haven't been all that responsive on some of the other kids in his class are sending photos of the arts and crafts projects that they're working on at home, and we are not artsy or crafty, and so our son has been using this app on his iPad to memorize all the countries in Europe, where the app says, okay, now click on Slovenia. And you tap on Slovenia, and it says, okay, now click on Ireland. And you click on Ireland, and it says, okay, now tap on Cyprus. And you click on Cyprus. And now do Norway. And Belarus.
Whoever knew there were so many countries.
Right. But my son this is like his superpower. He has always kicked everyone. He's always kicked everyone's ass at that game Memory, where you have to flip over cards, and then if you get a match, then you get the cards, and if you don't, he always will flip over a card and then remember something 10 turns back where that card was over there. He's always defeated every adult he's ever played in that, and
a savant.
He's learned the countries of Europe. he can do this, and I have a video of him doing this, where he identifies all the countries of Europe in 2 minutes and 30 seconds with 100% accuracy.
He's 7?
Not yet. He will be soon. Not only that, but he's learned Asia and the Americas for identifying the countries. So it's just like the wiring in his brain is such.
What's happened here, right? Something.
Savant, I guess, is sort of the term for that. But it. So anyway, when I got this call from his teacher saying, haven't gotten much response from you, and we told him, look, you're sending our kids these little online games where you have to determine which numbers are even and odd, and our son is doing multiplication and division, long division. And he said, could you send me some of those worksheets that he's filling out? And we're like, sure. We've been throwing them away because why would we keep them? But he's that's where we are. So
he's back to school,
right?
Air quotes.
Yes.
Good Lord.
We've also taught him how to use the Messages app on his iPad, so he can send messages to us and his sister and his grandparents. And so he's just been typing away, sending. Messaging. There's a certain level of etiquette that need to be learned. Like you can't when it's 2 a.m. Where someone else is, you can't be like, hey.
Yeah.
Sending all these messages. Hey, are you awake? Hey, you up? Hey. So that's improving his writing and his building thoughts together, and so that's our kind of school.
That's wild, man.
Yeah,
absolutely wild. Well, my quest for unemployment continues. As you may know, I lost both of my contracts. Were bound to be re-upped in down south, and
good thing no one else is applying for unemployment in America right now.
I know.
It's like,
but the stats are amazing. 43,000 millionaires recovered 80% of the entire fund, and the play on it, of course, is that the lawyers. Anybody who's got a lawyer got right on it and did it, and those schmucks like us who said, well, I better get to that, and it's probably going to be complicated, and it wasn't. So that's going. It got to the point, believe this, that when small businesses applying for loans, they used their calculation, and they asked, so what can I get? And the response was, you can get $1,000.
Great.
$1,000.
$1,000.
Yeah.
Cool hard cash.
Yeah, right. That's going to pay for your stuff for 3 weeks, and then it's gone. If that. So I went to the unemployment route, and the software was, of course, right up your alley.
There was a big news article in the tech circles about how there's a really high demand on COBOL programmers. That's the language that wrote all the mainframe code back in the 70s.
Way back. That's what I studied when I was in college.
Right, exactly.
Fortran. COBOL, Fortran.
Yeah, exactly. And there was a big spike in the need for COBOL programmers back for Y2K because everyone was sure that everything was just going to hit the fan when the date turned over. And now there's also the same crisis because just to handle the unemployment data, because I'm like, it's not trivial. Someone applies for unemployment and you have to do 8-10 checks to make sure that they're who they say they are and that they really had this sort of employment. Yeah. Like there's a lot of paperwork involved there. And ripe for computer automation. But if no one has touched it in 40 fucking years, then whatever.
Yeah. Well, this was maddening. You file the application. Your application is pending, and then below it says table applications in status, as many rows as you want, I suppose. And the reason that you were asked to file an application was the first one was denied. And so you file the second one, and it tells you a little flag, application pending. But then on the table below that shows your first one, which was denied, it automatically shows your second one that you just did, and that shows it's denied as well. So on the same screen, you have it says pending review, and it's apparently automatically canceled. And then I went back in it, and a couple days later, and found I wasn't eligible for standard unemployment as a 1099 contractor, but I was eligible for COVID-19. So there was another form that I had understood they were going to do something on April 20 to get it up to date. And I'm like, hey, man, that's going to be a really good day, man.
Let's all get high on 420.
Fill out forms on 420, man.
Yeah.
But as it turns out, this is kind of what they did. And then I filled it out, and now I've received 2 different communications, email communications. Says, okay, you file every 2 weeks, so we get a hold of you. You got to tell us whether you're still employed or unemployed, and we'll get to you. And so that'd be sweet, up to help me and help my kids. It's rough. It's rough out here.
Yeah.
And I wish I had some money to support some of these takeout businesses and stuff,
Right.
that are scrapping, that have modified, the Chinese restaurant up the road from us that we frequented once every couple of weeks is now doing a booming takeout business. They always did a takeout, so it's not a big
Right.
deal, but they're not prepared for the distancing. I gave them shit. I mean, it's like I walk in with a mask and gloves, and there's a guy, no mask, no gloves. He wants to take my credit card. And I held it up. I said, bro. He said, yeah.
Contactless payment, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. I said, why don't you take this over the phone?
That's weird because the Asian countries are doing so much better at this than the Western countries because they have this common culture and they went through the SARS thing and they're way more prepared for this sort of stuff. But I guess
they've done it before.
I guess you're second generation Chinese restaurant operator in America, maybe not so much. So talking about your $1,000. Oh yeah. Did you see? Oh yeah. Did you see where when Trump gave out his and again I say Trump, the Treasury Department gave out the stimulus that's supposed to be $1,200 to every American. It was such a Trump-like rollout. First of all, it was delayed because they wanted to have Trump's signature on every check to make it feel like he was giving you his money. And the second, even better thing was that they had this provision that said that if it was a direct deposit to your bank and your bank thought that you owed them at least $1,200, then they could just sort of take that as a payment. So how could we fuck this up in a way that this is a stimulus to help the people that are struggling to get the money at the bottom of the economy, which is actually how stimulus works. How can we take this and give it to the richest? Just genius work by the Trump.
Oh boy!
Just
don't get
fantastic.
me started. You piss me off now.
So I saw the oh Jesus! I opened the dentist's box.
You've opened the. Hey, I want you to send that rant I went on that you thought was over the top, which is the first time in a year that you've given me that look. I want you to get that to fucking what's his name on HBO, John Oliver.
Yeah,
I think he'd play it. I do. I think he'd play it. But hey, let me tell you how. Remember, did we talk about how hard it was to try to figure out how to get him stuff?
Because you were trying to get him a laugh track idea. This
is what happened the other day.
He called you. Dennis, big fan of your podcast.
He has been trying to buy this painting, this oil painting of 2 rats.
Of the rats making out, yep.
2 rats that are sexually endowed. We talked about this already.
No, I mean, I've seen it.
Okay, so this past week in a show, I won't give you the spoiler, but it talked about that again.
No, I've seen it.
Okay.
I've seen them all.
He flashed on the screen an email he got. And the email said, but maybe it was a hashtag. Maybe somebody went to a hashtag and that's where the communication was. That probably would be it, right? Instead of an email. I swear he said email, but it flashed it on the screen.
Yeah. That's 2 weeks ago, the episode, but yes.
So if you froze the frame, you could see how to get to him, if it in fact was an email. I swear I saw an email address of it.
Of course, all shows like this have email addresses. You're not John's not going to read it, but one of his minions is going to read all that stuff.
Send it to him. I think it would be what we need to go. I'll have to go national.
I mean, all of your rants make me roll my eyes. So I'm not sure which one. Should we do another one right now? Okay, ready? Go.
An eye roll?
No, a rant. A dentist rant. You can't do it on command.
I want to get all worked up. Oh, God. Investigate the investigators. You know what? These are bad people. These are evil people. These are scum of the earth. You know? Who do you work for? Who do you work for? Oh, NBC. Oh, yeah. Okay. Next. You're done. Next. You're done. Next. Quiet. Next.
I did read that article that you sent that I'll put in the show notes of Trump as the escape artist, where you said, "Read this and ruin your weekend."
It's a great picture. It's a great image.
The picture's great, but the thesis of the article was really
the feces of the article.
The thesis.
The feces.
No, the article didn't take a dump. The thesis.
If it's about Trump, you don't say it's the theses. You say it's the feces.
The feces.
You don't know this?
Of the Farticle.
If Trump is the subject of the article, they don't offer theses or one thesis. They offer theses or one thesis. This is you don't know this.
Okay, well, the feces of the Farticle was that
clever. That's the first time in 3 episodes. Pretty clever.
What was
pretty
just
clever.
that?
As Larry David would say, pretty good.
That Trump is so well suited. Like, he's such a slippery motherfucker that anytime you think you have him caught, he escapes and is just fine. And that over his career, 9, 10, 11 times, the same thing has happened where all of the observers thought, this guy is done. He can't go anywhere from here. He's backed into a corner. And every single time, the little motherfucker slithers away. And that
the only thing little about him is his hands and his dick.
Well, I mean, I'm going with the snake metaphor. So snakes don't have big hands.
What kind of hands do they have? Just so I'm getting this in your world, in your little
snakes don't have
world.
hands.
Yes, they do. They have hands that look like Mickey Mouse's hands with little white mittens.
Do they? When
they retract into their gills, which are also invisible to the naked eye.
Okay, Dennis. I'm not sure what you've had for happy hour.
Your mohawk
down.
Looks like a snake to me.
Yes, well,
it has a snake's head. It has a biting head. It has a cobra head. It has the head of fear. It has the head of God. It has the head of, oh my God, what's happening here?
I mean, do you want less hawk or do you want mohawk? I mean, come on.
Not to be overly hawkish.
Yes,
but
I pity the fool, except for Trump. But anyway, this article about how uncatchable the little fucker is, and about how this crisis is going to make him even stronger.
Do you remember how it ends? Do you remember what the last sentence is? Do you doubt what I say? Just ask Hillary.
Oh yeah, right. No, just ask President Hillary Clinton.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Well, she had those emails, you know?
Yeah, James Comey.
Well, at least we got...
big, tall, stupid son of a bitch. We ought to get him on our show. We ought to start interviewing people. There's a lot of people got things to say. We need to start getting a couple people on. Well, how did we do that last time? Just they were on sound?
We have done it before on a different podcast where... No, it was with the Skype. It was connected, but yes, we need to start.
But not face.
No,
we could
just audio. Just audio.
Yeah.
But I mean, we don't want to see Comey's face. Shit.
So there's a book I want you to read, or if you can, it's by Joseph Bathanti.
I know how to read.
It's about growing up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in a little blue-collar Catholic neighborhood, Italian neighborhood. And it is so freaking funny. It is so funny. I want you to read it. I want to bring Joe on the show. I spoke to him last week. He and his better half are doing well. Hunkered down up in Boone, North Carolina. He's a funny man. We need to get him on. He was reluctant to talk about Trump. He calls me Schwanzi. Schwanzi, he says, I'm afraid I don't know how much we can get into this because, it's through the looking glass. And I don't know what to think anymore. I just don't know what to think. And we talked about it for an hour. Here's the main point of this. And I've had another conversation similar to this with my neighbor today, where we were both ended up in our driveways yelling at the sky about this fucking lunatic president. And
okay.
and we just looked at each other and said, oh well, sorry this happened. We'll see. Well, maybe we'll see tomorrow. But,
Okay, what's the point?
Here's the thing.
Here's the point, everybody.
We thought that he was so. This is what we thought. We thought he was just so. Listen to this. Just so. Just listen. So deplorable.
Is there
so deplorable.
There's a thought coming here. Pay attention,
deplorable. Everybody. And we thought that he was the most horrible ever. And now we know that we weren't even close to how bad he is. It's gone from this unbelievable feeling of disgust and nausea to something much more severe than that in the mental illness realm, in the through the looking glass, in the, oh my God, is this the new reality? Is this the road? Is this Cormac McCarthy taking us to the end? Are we going to eat each other's flesh as a result of this fucking thing morphing because Trump doesn't take care of it and the world ends this way?
I think so, yeah. I mean,
what I'm saying, bro.
That's all signs point to yes. I just looked at my eight ball.
Shake it up. Shake it up. Shake it up, baby.
Yes.
Twist and shout. Now, listen, this is different. This twist and shout is different. This is twist in agony, and this is shout in absolute despair.
No.
Twist and shout.
No, this is twist the facts and shout them at the people.
Twist the facts and shout the shit.
Yes.
Bit by bit, piece by piece, bit by bit. Shout the shit.
Your rapping has gotten way better lately, Dennis.
Yeah.
Should I lay down a beat?
Go.
Bit by bit. Okay.
Can you hear this?
And once again, we have devolved into mouth noises.
That's cool. That's my head serving as a musical instrument. Your bone in your head. The air in your mouth, the air in your lungs. You are, in fact, if you're capable of sound, you are, in fact, a musical instrument. You can play yourself, not in the way that you do 2 or 3 times a day.
Finally, your head has been used for something. There's no new Joe Biden news this week. He's hunkered down, as far as I know. I haven't heard anything.
He's got it narrowed down to 37 women who could be considered as his running mate. 37.
Does he have to feel out the competition, or?
I don't know. He's getting close. He's getting closer and closer. You know what the motherfucker do? He ought to say, let me tell you, I'm putting Buttigieg in charge. I'm putting Cuomo in charge of HHS. I'm putting Beto O'Rourke in charge of the Democratic Party and replacing that fucking stiff Perez, who is got no credibility whatsoever and is just a talking head. Put Beto O'Rourke in there. That's what I'm talking about, broski. Okay? You're going to go ahead and put Juan Castro in charge of HUD. Going to go ahead and put Bernie Sanders in charge of... What do you put Bernie Sanders in charge? Keep him in the Senate. Win the Senate. Win the Senate.
Win the Senate, bro.
I think I'm you know, as I got a leaning as Brian Williams, the lying newscaster would say. We have a characterization. We have a new characterization of a poll or whatever is the way he says is. That is that I'm leaning right now to Elizabeth Warren as his running mate.
Please, God, yes.
Because she is ready and more prepared than anyone to become the president tomorrow. And what she brings is Bernie's people.
Yes, some of them. And also, she's not going to be doofus vice president like, I don't know, Pence or Biden or Quayle or, well, she'll be more like Dick Cheney, where she'll be up in there doing policy, providing policy for the puppet president. Imagine the debate with Mike Pence. Imagine the debate. One of the reasons I wanted to be vice president because I wanted to see debate Mike Pence. Let's create a hashtag. Tear him a new Christian hole. Hashtag Erik and Dennis for Elizabeth Warren. Fucking whatever. No dot. No dot needed. Dogwood. Yes. Darkwood. Dogwood. Oh, Dogwood.
No, we need another one.
As opposed to .com.
Dog would smell like cum.
As opposed to .com.
www.dogwood.com. That's. I don't know why that comes to mind. This is not a family show.
No.
This is not a family show. So I finished the newsroom, and then Googled the hell out of why it ended after 3 seasons, and was surprised. I'm now going to find The West Wing and binge on that, because the same writer, Aaron Sorkin, was the writer.
Newsroom,
astounding.
Newsroom, and I never watched West Wing, and I've tried to go back and watch some of it, but it's so hard to go back and watch things in standard def, but before HD came along, where everything is all square and shitty resolution. It I know that there's good content from back in the old days, but yes, Newsroom was such just liberal wankery porn. It was so cathartic in a way.
It was Aaron Sorkin's mouthpiece for his views, and as such, anyone who doesn't like Aaron Sorkin's views didn't much like the show, and anybody who did. And his reputation to be go figure. I know.
His reputation.
Hey, we could create an algorithm that was like that, right? That's so if you like what somebody writes, you like their show. It's a formula.
That's why we only have 4 listeners, probably.
One person told one person, and then each person told one person, and that's it. So we're spreading at a slow pace. It's true.
So the other day, I asked my family to help me move, and now I got a bunch of sore kin. Tick tock, tick tock.
Da 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 dum.
Sorry, that was my North Carolina coming out.
Dum dum bum.
They love the word kin in North Carolina, don't they?
Kin?
Well, these are my kin.
These are my kin folks.
My kin folk.
Hey, Georgina. Amen. I hope everybody's holding up fine. My kin's doing well on this side of the family. Jamie's family doing well. How about you on your side?
So how about this fantastic idea of protesting the shutdown by getting all together and coughing on each other?
Yeah.
It's
right. Watch what happens when the churches, which is a whole other topic, obviously, but the tracers, if we get to tracing, since Trump is what Trump is, of course, that he's settled on a strategy that he hatched with who knows, some evil Banyan perhaps, or some intellect like that, and to say, look, this is what we have to do. This thing is out of hand. It's going to be out of hand. It's always going to be out of hand. We need to be able to shift the blame, and so we need now to absolutely make it clear that the responsibility for phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 relative to testing, not the swabs, but the entire testing system, is responsibilities of the state. We don't do that. Therefore, when the economy doesn't open, you can run against the governors in every state. Oh, well, by the way, the support rating of governors on a whole, in a poll done yesterday, is 64% in this country.
Yeah,
64% of the American people think that governors on a whole are doing a good or very good job. I'm sure if you get 64, it's good and very good, right? So it's nuts. It's nuts. But I digress.
And the whole Stoking Chaos, which might be the title for this episode.
Liberate Michigan.
Is very at this point he wants the worst outcomes out there so that he can say that's somebody else's fault, right? Because that makes him I don't know.
It's not that he wants the worst outcomes. It's that
he doesn't give a shit.
He's realized that he is stuck with the worst outcomes. And in spite of anything anybody says, he's going to figure out a way, as the Houdini article alludes to try to snake it. I don't believe at this point, since the outrage is inclusive of every Republican governor that's falling short of testing and will soon be falling short of economic recovery of any kind due to a lack of testing system, that in fact those people are being listened to by more people than Trump, and that means that his base is likely cut in fucking half. Yes, look
Really?
at the difference. Governors are 60%, Trump is 40%. 20% difference. Cut it in half. 10%. Anyway, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Fuck, I don't know. I'm just...
That's a fucking circus, man. It's a fucking circus.
Speaking of circi,
Seriously.
how I haven't seen a lot of people doing our mime thing that we announced.
Oh, really? It's caught fire here.
Really?
I say it 6 times when I'm out walking, 5 or 6 times.
People are all staying in their boxes.
Sometimes on 2 different street corners.
Just people there miming around in their boxes.
Yeah.
Well, great.
Laughing maniacally. Oh, that was fun. Yeah.
Hey, maybe maybe Trump is
Hey.
worried that the Michiganders are all stuck in boxes, and that's why he has to liberate them.
Hey, come, hey, listen,
Hey, man.
listen, hey.
I don't
Bye.
know.
I don't know.
Yeah. Let's see what else happened here. Interest. Not a whole fucking lot.
So you are starting to do what exactly? You're starting to open up what? What are you doing? Are you opening anything in Spain?
Yes,
I read something.
they announced something about the WHO, the World Health Organization said we should let the dogs out.
Who let the dogs out?
Thank you very much for that. No, it's something about children can now leave their homes if they're accompanied by one adult.
Like parakeets?
Yeah,
Send them out there, see if they catch it, bring them home.
But like children under 13, which mine are, can leave the house
resilient?
with one adult, but it's like if one parent is at work and the other is at home, and you have more than one child, you can leave the one. You can leave. You can take one of the children out to walk up to a kilometer away from your house and leave the other children at home.
Tie them up. Tie one of them up.
That's what I told my wife. I said, look, as long as they're tied to the sofa, you give them the TV remote.
Could you do like a comfortable collar of some kind? We could make money on that, man. Child collar.
I was just gonna tie their hands behind their backs.
A 6 foot
collar, I guess.
Could do both.
Yeah.
And then, you know what we'd call it? Collar. CALLER. The collar. And the commercial would be, hey, get back here. Right? Something like that. A collar.
Long time quarantine person, first time caller. Yeah.
First, a big COVID-19 fan, first time caller.
Yes. I'm.
Oh,
Yes.
Lord.
Caller, your concern is important to us. Yeah. So I guess we can take our kids for short walks now, like they're
To the
puppies.
park, yeah.
So they can take a dump in the street. I mean, I don't know.
Hey man, I saw a guy in his front yard today
No.
with a cat on a leash like a collar, and I called her, and he said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Calling your cat." And he said, "The cat in the collar?" I said, "Yeah, I'm calling the cat in the collar." I said, "Wow, that's an interesting color." He said, "You think the cat in the collar that you're calling is an interesting color?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Huh?" I said, "What's her name?" He said, "Collier." I said, "Collier is the name of your cat in the collar that has an interesting color?" He said, "Yeah."
Dennis, in this age of Me Too, you can't be catcalling.
Scat.
Hey,
Hey,
stop trying to grab the pussies.
grab what? Grab. What did you say? This isn't a family show, but grab the pussies. Did you say?
You were trying
Did you say-
to attract a cat.
Oh, the cat with the collar named Collier with the interesting color. I was calling.
You were catcalling
earlier.
pussies. That's not appropriate, Dennis.
Well, he did ask if I wanted to stroke.
Well, that sounds like the perfect situation. lately you've been doing some good improv singing that I've enjoyed.
When?
Like, I'm going to stay 6 feet away.
Oh yeah, I thought about that the other day.
So,
I thought about that song.
should
I
we-
did a couple verses out in the yard. Oh, darling, if you're come to see me, I beg you stay 6 feet away, 'cause the distance between us is so minor. When you know we will live for the day, when I can hold you close to me, darling, and not worry about droplets in your nose. And you know what they say when it's tough, dear. They just say, well, that's how it goes. So please see me tomorrow morning. But when you come, stay 6 feet away. 'Cause the distance we now keep between us will allow us to be close.
Day. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
I'm out, bro. I'm out.
You're out.
I'm out. I'm out. Out.
All right, short one. See you next week. All right, that's it for episode number 57 of Happy Hour with Dennis and Erik. You can find all the show notes of things that we mentioned at happyhour.fm/057. And if you'd like to help us make this podcast, you can go to patreon.com/happyhour and buy us around. And come on, just hang in there, guys. We'll get through this. And Dennis and I will see you next week.